Welcome back to another juicy sales and coaches meeting. We just returned home from New York City. Had a really good trip. So you wanted to say something, a little tick nut,
No, I'm just like getting used to my braces.
Oh, I see. Okay. So the kind of conclusion of that meeting was if we want to sustain this lifestyle, if we want to sustain being together, we need to increase our financial vibration. Not by a zillion light years, but by the next level. And the next level doesn't even mean you're running a six-figure business. Maybe you're running about a third of that. But that's what's going to get us to the next level in our business, bring this community to the next level, and bring us together in a way that's allows us to be together permanently and have a grounded location rather than on the internet. The internet's great. It's a really valuable tool. And being together in that tiny little house, squashed together, is great. But let's bring heaven together with heaven instead of making compromises. And we should very nicely have exactly what God is calling us to have. Okay, we need to sit down, please.
Right.
We need to sit down, please.
Why don't you come over here, Charlie?
I know we're having a relaxing meeting, but it's important stuff. Lie down, please.
Lie down.
Now.
Lie down.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I want to talk about first what is Sarah Maeve here? Did she make it? She was not feeling well.
You just click over.
We can click. There's a second.
I'm here. I'm at work, but I'm here.
Only 34 people here.
Oh, there's 34. That's great. So Sarah and I closed a deal.
Where are you, Sarah?
I'm right here.
Can you wave really obviously?
Sarah.
Keep waving.
What?
There you are. I see you.
Oh my God, you're right.
You were immediately.
You're right below our screen. That's funny. Okay.
Put it on speaker view so it automatically goes to who's talking.
It's good, Darcelia. It's good. Thanks. So Sarah and I closed a deal in all of about 5 or 10 minutes for an all-in. Christina, don't mouth. You're right in front of us. Don't eat food in front of this. I know this is a relaxing meeting, but turn off your camera if you need to eat right now.
Thank you.
Respect the space. So Sarah and I closed a all-in $1,600 for LPC with Daniela, and right after the last live class. And I wanted to sit with Sarah a little bit and kind of chat about what that was like for Sarah, and I'll share what it was like for me, because there's a key understanding here on how to close, and it was really easy. She wanted to be closed really badly, needed a little bit of extra support. Sarah, can you share with us what you saw?
Yeah, she was really interested. I've got a 5-year-old here next to me. She was really interested in subscribing to Life Purpose Class. Okay, everyone meet Mia.
Yeah.
She's very interested in the sales meeting, I guess.
It's a good thing for Mia to be part of. She can be included. She doesn't have to be separate.
No? Okay.
Yeah, of course she's included.
So yeah, I'll put you guys off my headphones so she can hear. So yeah, she was really interested in being close, but she was really unsure of what she wanted, and kind of pinpointing that the way to get what she wanted was to subscribe to Life Purpose Class. But
it was a clear solution.
She has a what?
It was a clear solution to her problem.
Yeah, you know what? Now I can't hear you. I need to. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Just settling in.
I thought I could unplug you guys, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I can. Thank you. Sorry.
It was the clear solution to her problem was LPC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We found that right away. And your clients who have already bought from you are the most likely people to buy from you again.
Mm-hmm.
Basic sales. So tell us more, Sarah.
She was being really indecisive. It was almost like her block to closing was believing that it was really that easy.
Yeah, yours.
And I've noticed.
Yours too, actually. You started you started to get kind of offended when she would like bring up objections. And
Oh.
started to almost kind of try to argue with her and fight with her. And I just let you say your things and then kind of ignored it and moved toward what she was saying. And Sarah and I worked as a team to close Daniela. And as soon as Daniela had said, I want to buy, but I'll do it later, I was like, oh, hold on, I'll grab my laptop. I brought it over, did exactly what I showed you guys to do online. There's nothing different than what we did. We closed her in 10 minutes or less, whole thing. That's like half the time of a free consult. And all I did was get clear on the solution, get clear on the problem, get clear on the solution, and sit with her and be present with her as she moved forward into buying. It's not a fight. I didn't have to get anything from her. I didn't have to act like it was a big deal. It wasn't. I just sat with her, and it was a big deal. It was really important for her and for our business and for Sarah and for everyone. But it could just be really easy, very low energy requirement from us, very low energy requirement for her. It was just a decision. When she got there, she was like arguing with herself about which credit card she's going to use in her bank account, and I just didn't get in the way. You'll find that as a salesperson, all you have to do is not get in their way of buying. Don't ever get in their way of buying. Don't put yourself between them and the product. Put yourself, behind the product and help them clear any blocks. They're already there to purchase the product. They want to buy. People love buying. And they know there's something good here because they can feel you. If you feel good about the product, they can buy easily. Now, I know we've got some other stuff to talk about, but I do want to get really clear on this piece. It was a really valuable opportunity to share with you guys. Excuse me while I'm processing. Well, mute yourself, Sarah.
I thought someone was coming through our door.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the highs.
So, she had a lot of resistance to buying, and she was nervous and afraid. And all I did was just sit there and be patient with her and held space, as she did most of the work herself. And whenever she needed help, I helped her. And whenever I offered help, I valued that help. Your clients are really asking you before they buy, are you a capable coach? Can you effectively help me?
Don't worry about me. I'm kissing you.
All right, thanks. Can you effectively help me? That made it worse. This is why we're normally in your office. Yeah.
This is why we're normally in my office. Yeah.
It was this one.
I'm sorry, everyone.
We're on a little struggle bus of a day.
There's a struggle most of the day.
Okay,
We're so dark.
We're not changing the lighting at this point. This is what we've got. Thank you.
Okay.
I had to value myself. And your clients are asking you to do the same thing. And they're asking you if you're going to be able to help them after they buy through their biggest upsets. And if you can't help them, you won't close the deal. But if you can help them, then the deal should be yours every time. And they're going to provide you with their biggest blocks, and they're going to ask you to be present with them, not fight them, not have an upset, not be pushy, not try to take from them. But you know how I treat you. And you know how good it feels to be loved by us. And you know how I don't take your shit. And when you struggle or flail, and I love you and I help you. I don't get involved in your flailing. I don't make it a big deal. I offer you an opportunity, a choice. And after you've made that choice, I assume that you've kept that choice. And if you try to go back on that choice, I stop our relationship and say, well, there's nothing here for us if you're not going to honor your agreements. After we got clear with Daniela that LPC was the best decision for her and she wanted help with her life purpose, She said, well, I know I need to get it. I just, not now. And Sarah and I were like, well, do you want to feel better now or later? She said, well, now, of course. Okay, so let's buy now, So she agreed. And then we sat down and we put the laptop up and I pulled it out and I was like, all right, here you go. She knew she wanted to go all in, save money. So that's what we did. And then we spent about 3 minutes with her arguing with herself over which account to buy from. And she was like acting like she wasn't going to buy today, it was going to be later. And I just sat with her because I already knew that the deal was closed. I just needed to be patient with her and let it close. It wasn't hard. It wasn't much work. It did require patience, though. She freaked out. Oh, I don't have enough money on this card or that card. I got to use my bank account. She solved all her own problems. She didn't ask me to step in and help her. She just did it herself.
Right.
She just needed me to sit there with her as she
support her.
Yeah, as she went crazy, expressed herself, and then ended up using a credit card, which she said was definitely not going to work, but she made it work anyway. And she felt so good afterward that she had loved herself there.
Everyone claps for her.
Everyone clapped for her, and this is the same thing that happened in the live event that happens, online. Everyone claps for someone who signs up and goes all in. So when your client gets closed, they feel good. And I didn't just leave her there. I sat with her. I made sure she was okay after that because it was a big deal. I sat with her and loved her and made sure that she was grounded because it was a high, exciting thing to, claim LPC. She's got her 7 p.m. class. And in that conversation, we were talking about getting all classes pass. And the whole time I was talking about the all classes pass too, not pressuring her, but wondering when she was going to, because we had agreed that the best way to do it, and this is the same for all of your clients, the best way to approach Twin Flames Universe's work is all in, all classes pass, and LPC. It's really like a $3,700 product that you're selling, which is why this is a 6-figure career for you guys. It's a serious product. Not many salespeople sell something this valuable. And you can, we have it set up so you can piecemeal it out and, start with 7 p.m. and work your way through or whatever the case. But the superior way to approach this work is watch it in chronological order. Every class, Sunday, 1 p.m., Wednesday, 7 p.m. Well, I guess there's LPC in there. So Sunday, Tuesday, LPC, Wednesday, 1 p.m., Wednesday, 7 p.m. And repeat all the way through in the order they were shot. That's the best way to approach this work. And that's what you want to tell your clients up front. You don't give them something short and small and say, oh, this is it, and then tell them again, oh, this is it later. You show them the whole picture. This is it. And the best way is if you can pay for it up front. Put it on a credit card if you have to, because that's going to save you the most money. Then build your credit if you pay it off in equal payments over a year. Costs you less that way. If you're completely incapable of that, we can find, we do financing. It's much more expensive, but most people in the world who have an internet connection and are attracted to this could make it happen. And how beautiful it is to help your clients pay for that kind of thing using your coaching and help your client through their block to working and creating value for themselves and earning a good income. People increase in confidence when they're earning an income, when they're achieving goals and they're supported. The thing you love about this community is the support, is the work. And it's so easy to bring someone in. They're magnetized to it because it's so attractive. So as I was saying before, your clients, they're testing you in the sales process. Can you help me? Can you help me deal with my biggest blocks? Are you tolerant to my shit? Are you going to eat my shit? Or are you going to, love me through it? And with Daniela, she just needed patience. And, a lot of people get impatient with Daniela, and she's used to people being very impatient with her because she likes to talk a lot, and she's very expressive, and she says a lot of stuff that you have to trust is going somewhere. And she's not just blabbing for the sake of blabbing, although she likes to talk a lot. And the moment where she started to kind of waste my time and blab, I'd feel it, and I'd say, what about this? So I direct the conversation again. I didn't let my time get wasted. I valued myself. And you want to treat yourself like this in your consultations. So is Carmel here today? I don't know if she's able to make it. It's like time zone stuff.
Could be time zones.
I don't think she's here. Is anyone here who was not on the new NYC trip and was diligently, working the whole time? Was, oh, Hillary, are you raising your hand? Yvonne, you raised your hand. Maybe Yvonne, you can unmute yourself, and Hillary after that.
Hi.
Yvonne, how are you?
You hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yep. Thanks.
Good. So you were working on your coaching business the whole week?
Oh, I took some time off. I was upheaving like crazy too. I took some days off, but I was always also bombarded with orders from French people, so I had to like keep an eye on it.
So were you going out and like fishing, sharing the work with people, talking a lot? What was your business process like, while you were working?
Well, I'm not so much on the sales front of to English speakers anymore because I'm just really
Speakers to anyone.
yeah. No, I was mostly like just keeping an eye on my emails, which were coming in like 150 in like 2-3 days.
So what happened? How did you have so many emails?
Well, you tell me. That's the question I put in the group where I was like, what's the definition of breakthrough, right? I kept making my videos, and all of a sudden, it's like, wow, it's like everyone at the same time. It's like it's. I didn't even count, but I think it's about 90 people ordering the mirror exercise in a few days.
How much was it? Did you offer the product for?
For $10.
$10. Can you have a list of all those people?
Because I don't want to make a profit on the exercise, but I still feel there has to be a hurdle because they get a lot of free stuff already with the videos.
Well, yeah, you want to move the free line.
Right. So that's my cheapest product, sort of, and
kind of like the English version of the book.
Right, exactly, because there's no version in French, Italian, and German yet.
Right.
I think that's the lowest price that you can actually. Yeah, no one can have an excuse for $10, right?
Right, exactly. Same with the book.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're making a bunch of these sales via the videos you had created?
Well, no, the offer is on my website, but it's automated. Like it's just, yeah, you can just buy it, download it, and you're set to go. There's a video of like 20 to 30 minutes per language explaining the mirror exercise, and the one pager describing it like in the book, right? And it's just I don't know what happened that everyone's ordering now. But it just happened. So I was really happy that I wasn't in New York because I knew like I would have been stressed out.
Right. That's fine. So let's move forward with the meeting here. So you're making a bunch of sales on this. Are you converting those to coaching clients, or how are you taking them to the next level?
That's what I'm doing now. Yeah, I have like 5 people interested in joining the class, which I'm starting on Tuesday, French class now. But it's just like brand new, right? It's just like from the ground up. And now today I sent out emails to the people saying they want to do the class, and like about 70 emails to the people saying just buying the mirror exercise and not interacting with me so far, but like catching up on that, like saying, okay, you bought the mirror exercise, now it's time for the next steps. So like take your hands. There's 12 spaces only. Like
you bring up a good point in that it's not, you don't have to just go fishing to spread a wide net.
Right.
You can all be creating your own YouTube channels, your own social media channels. You can plug in with the Twin Flames Universe YouTube channels and create videos there that help get your face out there and your work out there as well.
And so Jeff and I, for a little while, I believe we're consistently doing YouTube videos, and we're not like YouTube creators, by the way, like YouTubers. Some people anyways, I just want to say it, we're not like. But my point is that we would type in Twin Flames in the search bar, and we would see like what are the top videos, and that people are watching under Twin Flames, because it's a real indicator of what the audience wants to see. And so that was a real good source of inspiration, except we would tell it our version, aka like the truth.
Yeah.
And that's how we started to get ourselves into the top algorithm.
You find what people are looking for.
What are people looking for? Give it to them. They're telling you right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Yvonne. I think we got what we needed.
Thank you, Yvonne.
You want to be generating leads, closing deals, and servicing clients. Only 3 tasks in your business. If something that you're creating doesn't support any of those 3 things, wasting your time. Last week we talked about, and I know this is really wonky because of the NYC trip, but what you can commit to in your daily schedule to grow your business. And next week we're going to check in with that and start to diagnose your businesses and diagnose your sales process. And I want to build off of that so that you can know exactly what it is that's going to grow your business and your income. The only way to get closer to us is to grow your income. We're never again going to go into a low vibe place to meet you where you live. If we're going to hold the next event, it's going to be very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be paid for it, and you're going to be very well taken care of on it.
Yeah.
And in order to be physically closer to us, in order to be closer to this work than you already are, you're not going to lose anything you already have.
Right.
But this is already yours, no doubt. But you're not going to move forward with us in this business, in this journey. You're not going to get closer to us until you grow your financial vibration. It was hard for us to go back to the ghetto. It was hard for us to,
Very triggering.
yeah, to be taking, all the things in the NYC trip. We got home, it was like whined getting in my bed. It was a big deal for us. Wealth is the way that God loves you.
Yeah.
And the big resistance that you're having here is being willing to take that vibrational leap. Some of you really did have a great deal of wealth in your vibration, and you kept it very high. You didn't allow yourself to have your vibration lowered. And some of you were resisting that leap. And this is this NYC trip that we did. In the way that we did it, it was kind of the minimum possible where we could get as many people as possible together. Never again. Not saying it's a bad thing, it was a beautiful thing. It was well worth it. It was really amazing. But moving forward, the steps are clear.
Yeah, like for Jeff and I to do what we do, and many of you here have been a witness this past week, we need like a high level support in order to do what we do and not start to dive into our own like inner resources, or burning the midnight oil. We're not the only ones that are sick. Like I know other people.
Many of us burned the midnight oil.
Many of us really burned it, and so we can't be doing that as a collective. It's just not compassionate.
And this is showing us the way to the next level of our ascension. And those who are here, those who are following this teaching, this is your call.
Yeah.
So it's time. If you want to be closer to your twin flame, if you want to be closer to us, you want to be closer to this community is raising its vibration financially. If you want to be with us in the TFAS mansion that we've spoken about, which we will have, we had originally pitched it as an idea where it could be $550 a month to live there, but it's not honoring that house. The house is not a commune. I think 18 people maximum in that particular house would be pushing it, and probably closer to 12 people or 16 people in the 7-bedroom house. And it's going to cost you money to live there. If you're going to have your own bedroom, it'd be around $4,000. If you're going to share a bedroom, $2,000. Maybe one or two rooms would have 4 people at $1,000 a month, plus utilities, plus expenses, plus a lot of stuff. It's going to cost you money to take it to the next level. And you're not going to be able to have a job, locally in Detroit to pay for it. It destroys the reason for being there. if you want to be there in the TPS house, it's because you want to be our disciple. You want to be with us all the time, being loved by us like a daughter or a son, like, you know, like a brother or sister, loved like we love our dog.
Well, and a lot of them know how it felt being around us this past week. We were very loved.
Yeah, Fabian, what was it like to be around us in person and loved like that?
Yeah, it was really nice to be around you in person, because you could feel the love and authenticity, and it was like a permanent class in a way, but it was always perfect. You know, you would imagine that our permanent class sounds a little intense, but as you know, these classes are also always perfect because you carry them from this moment on, right?
So you never felt overwhelmed. It wasn't like, you know, it was always making you do the mirror exercise.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like being around you is like it's a fast track to everything, you know.
And that's why we saw all these harmonious soul family unions coming together
Exactly.
in waves.
Because you fast track when you get close to us.
Remember, you're going to have your harmonious union, you're going to have your soul family, and
Yeah.
there's still going to be more to go.
There's still more.
And we're going all the way. So I just want to paint a path to being closer to us. And once again, you're not going to lose anything that has been had before. It's always yours. There's a long trail of videos and work and the community. It's always going to be here. It's not going away. But if you want to have the premium, you know, the premium juiciest
The front
juice,
seat ticket.
yeah, to the Ascension,
Yeah.
right next to us. You want to have us. The cost of entry compared to the benefit of being there is phenomenally imbalanced.
Right. Like,
Very low cost of entry, stupendous, you know, reward for
And
it.
that was the cost of the trip. Like, everyone got far more than what they paid for. Do you agree?
Yeah, the money was not. It was low
It was negligible compared to what you actually received.
because you received love
Oh yeah.
and you gave love
You
and
gave
you were
love.
with love and
Yeah.
you were in love. And miracles were happening one after the other because their vibrations were so high. And this trip was a testing ground. If you weren't on it, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. But you will miss out if you're not moving forward with us now in this way. And in order to move forward with us in this way, you must conquer poverty consciousness.
Yeah.
You must conquer poverty right now. You cannot fear God's love here anymore.
Right.
This has been the sales block. When you start selling, you're going to get rich. And it's going to mean you're going to get rich in God. It's going to mean you're going to be loved big time.
Right.
This is what you're here for. There's no problem with having money. There's no problem with paying money. There's no problem with asking for someone to pay money, so long as there's an appropriate value exchange. And there is far and above an appropriate value exchange here. The money is nothing compared to what you get for signing up. The community that you're a part of in an intimate way. And the community doesn't exist without people paying for it
Yeah.
because it claims its financial support and abundance. This is not a charity, and this is not a scam. This is a place where you make the appropriate commitment and you are abundantly and richly rewarded in love.
Yeah.
And your core problems are solved. If you talk to someone about their biggest problem for about 5 minutes, you might figure out they'll pay anything and do anything to resolve it. The amount of money that you ask for coaching services and for taking on clients is negligible compared to the value that they receive. And they know it, and you know it, and that's not the problem. The problem is you're afraid to leave behind poverty because you're comfortable in it. Some of you aren't in poverty. Some of you are very much in poverty. And for those of you that aren't in poverty, take your money to the next level. Angela was telling me, you know, she just made $250,000 last year. She said she wants to hit 7 figures this year. That's, you know, 1 million or more. And that's very doable for her.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not in poverty, take it to the next level. So this sales meeting, if you get nothing else from it, is a decision that you make right now to leave poverty
Mm-hmm.
and to claim your financial abundance. It's a spiritual thing, resulting in a spiritual relationship with money.
Yeah.
Do you know how good it was for me to take a Uber Black from the Airbnb to the airport? I paid $50 for something I could have got for $18. But that $50 got me a guy who had a really nice, classy dress. Every detail was in order. I didn't just get a ride. I got an experience. I got a supportive experience where I was loved in all these ways, in more ways I didn't expect. Every detail about this man's appearance and his demeanor and how he approached us was rich.
Yeah, very rich.
He took care of everything.
Yeah.
In the cheap Ubers, you gotta dive in and you gotta fucking go. And if you don't, they're pissed and you're taking
But
from them.
there's a cost to that.
Exactly.
There's a cost to paying that $18 that people don't want to acknowledge. You think you're saving yourself money, but you're taking from yourself from somewhere else.
So Brianna and I and who else was with us? Brianna in our little shitty cab.
Soraya.
Yeah. We took a shitty. What was it? $12 for that ride, or
Yeah, it wasn't much. I think it was about 10 or 12. Yeah.
$10 or $12 for like a 10-minute ride or 15-minute drive. That was sketch as fuck. The dude looked like he was on drugs. He looked like he was definitely a thief. But this was just a cover job. And it felt bad. It was not worth it. I had to hold my vibration so high to be around him without losing, and it cost a lot, far more than it was worth. Poverty costs enormously. And you'll notice that as you work your way out of poverty, by claiming your financial abundance, by claiming your wealth vibration, you're going to be freed up massively.
Mm-hmm.
Massively. It is going to relieve you so much. If you had great wealth, how much fewer problems would you have in your harmonious twin flame union journey? So much. How much more support would you have to be with your twin flame? How much more support could you use to support you in being with your twin flame? Hey, you have millions of dollars? Nothing is out of your reach in this community. You can call Shalina and be like, look, I want some personal attention. I'd like to do a weekend retreat, just us. We're like, well,
Let's do it.
yeah, but you're going to pay a lot. We're like, money is out of the question. And we can make it work. Give us $1 million to spend, a weekend with you privately. We would just be stupid to turn that down. And you'd be stupid not to do it if you had the money to do it, because your vibration would go up so much, because you move through so many blocks.
You'd receive far more than what you paid, once
And
again.
you'd attract more money anyway.
You always give more than what you can. And that's the secret to your wealth.
Always give more. Never try to take. If you think you're getting something, you're wrong.
Or if you think cheap with someone or cheap with yourself, you're just taking.
I made sure that every Uber driver we had was highly respected
Me too.
in every way.
Yeah.
And we made sure that we're in. I have a 5-star rating on Uber, solid after 18 rides. And maybe that's rare, maybe it's not. But I know I earned that rating because I respected every driver perfectly, even when they weren't respecting me or themselves. People would dilly down, I'm screaming, get in the car, let's go! Because I knew it was his money. Our dilly dally was his money out the window, and he was losing appreciation. And I was not honoring the true deal that was there. The true deal that was there was get the fuck in the car and go. A to B. That's how they make money. And they lose money when you're disrespecting them. And consequently, so are you. So you must respect the wealth of others by not taking from them. Let me give you another example. We went out to dinner and at the Korean barbecue place. And they fucking busted ass to serve us. It was the most perfect service. And there were so many moving parts. I'd never been to a restaurant with so much service in my life. There's so many moving parts to their service. And it was a team that did it. And I didn't know that gratuity was added in. And so I tipped, and I tipped very generously. It was like, you know, 180 or something after gratuity, and I gave them a fat tip. It ended up being like $240. And they came back all worried, like, oh, you overpaid. Like, the tip was included. I just looked in the eye, and I knew that the wrong thing to do was ask her to cut it off. Because I paid that out of appreciation. That's what the meal was worth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I said, keep it.
And that's what their work was worth, too. We had like 16, 18 people, you know, there.
They went above and beyond loving us.
Yeah.
She was so grateful because finally her gift was honored. She worked so hard to love us, handle every little detail. There was so much to the value she was offering. And for me to pay her, I didn't lose any money there. I just honored what I had received.
Right.
That's how you're rich. No one ever got rich by taking. You might have a lot of money from taking, but you're so poor. This is not about having a lot of money first. This is about being wealthy vibrationally. I am stupendously wealthy vibrationally. And for me to have financial wealth.
Yeah, and not to mention, I don't mean to like interrupt.
Okay.
But what do you think God thinks of us after we over-tipped?
We paid her properly.
What do you think God would think of us? And what do you think God would give us in return for honoring that relationship with his child? Because he loves all those people in that restaurant that served us because he created them.
My money flooded in. Like, my trip more than paid for itself.
We made money. Because this is how abundance works.
Closed a bunch of deals, all classes passes, all ins.
Yeah, I can guarantee that if we withdrew our extra tip, we would not have made that sale with Daniela.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you do it. And you don't have to do it with just money. You do it with your energy and generosity. Yeah. Sarah was blown away by how patient I was with her. She was like, you were a honey badger. You just kept going at it. I was like, okay, you know, I value myself. I was willing to walk away if she was not going to have a relationship and value me. Yeah. And we met. We met in a place where I could help her. I was like, here's where my help is. If you're not supporting me, there's no help here, and I'll go to someone who can. But I'm here to support you. I'm here to offer loving support. And if I don't have those conversations to have, I go out and get them. I create a shitload of YouTube videos. I create a shitload of vlogs. I go out and chat with a shitload of people. I offer a shitload of help on a shitload of forums for hours and hours and hours a day.
If you're not receiving enough, it's because you're not giving enough.
Boom. And that's why last week we sat down and we put out a schedule. Yeah. This is the amount of time you can commit, minimum. So when you're there, committed to that time, you sit down and you work, you give for that 5 or 10 or 35 or 80 hours a week.
Right.
And you realize that it's easy to get. This is what our live LPC was about.
But being self-employed doesn't mean that you're free.
No, you work 3 times as hard for the same paycheck.
And if you're in poverty and you're self-employed, you are most certainly not free. Mm-hmm. Let's just get that clear right now.
If you're in poverty, you're not free, period.
Yeah.
Poverty is a shit show and it's not heaven.
Yeah.
When you're sitting down for those hours, you're working consistently, focused. You're not putting in the hours in like a job and expecting a paycheck. You do that at the gas station because your job is just to be a warm body with a pulse, collecting dollars, making sure you don't get robbed, or whatever. That's not what this is. You are responsible for your wealth. If you work 80 hours and you don't get any leads, I'm not going to give you anything. I don't care. I don't care if you're putting in the time. All I care about is whether I do my part to love you. And all you should care about is whether you do your part to love others. That's it. I did my part. It is so easy to do your part. And you guys got to see me doing it live on the New York trip. I went from one thing to the next from morning until I collapsed. And then I wake up early and I do it over again. Let me give you an example. We went out to the Statue of Liberty and had a nice tour. And the whole time I was loving people. And I spent a little bit of time privately just with myself. The whole time, God was sending me people and moments and opportunities. And I wouldn't look at the person and be like, oh, I'm tired, I can't really help you right now. Oh, I don't have enough to give. I look at the person and I knew, like, God through them was asking for help.
Mhm.
And it was my pleasure to assist them, to share my gifts with them, to be there with them. My pleasure, my honor, my delight. It felt so good. It was so easy. My voice was hoarse and closing up. It is now, and I'm having no problem whatsoever speaking to you.
Yeah.
And then after that trip, you know, we got home and I had a conversation with Sheshi for like an hour, hour and a half. It was one of the most intense conversations of my life. And then went downstairs and had another 90-minute intensive. And then went upstairs and had another, you know, like 1 hour, 45-minute, you know, business meeting. And then the ball was about to drop on New Year's Eve. Went to the bathroom and came out. And, oh, I happened upon a student who was just crying. And I looked at the student and I said, I'm like, the ball's about to drop. I thought I was going to party and relax tonight. And the student didn't know I was there and kind of happened upon each other. And I was like, well, do you want my help with this? Because it was clear God put us together in that space. And they said, yeah, I would like some help. And I sat with that student for, you know, all the way through the ball dropping and, you know, 15, 20 minutes after that. I just helped that student. I loved that student
Right.
through their upsets. And then I went downstairs and I did some more. And then I helped some more. And then I helped some more. And then I helped some more. All day. I went to sleep. And I thought I was going to die. But then I woke up and I did some more. That's how miracles happen. This is the kind of work ethic. And you find your sustainable balance, right? Like, I need some recovery time here, but here I am at the coaches meeting, teaching you how to sell better, loving you, investing in you, because you require it. And if you didn't require it and you needed space and you needed a break, I would have given you that instead. I give you whatever you need because, to me, you represent God. And this is my love for God. To me, you are part of my relationship with God. I don't hold back on loving God. And that's why God doesn't hold back on loving me. And I want this for you too. There's no reason for you to not be rich, but that you cling to poverty. It's sickening, poverty. It's painful. It's soul-sucking. How shitty is it to have a dream and know that you can't afford it, and to feel like you're never going to get there? There's nothing out of the question in my dreams, financially speaking. Nothing. Because I know God's showing me the way, and because I know I don't hesitate in any way to love God. And you have to go out and talk to people if you want to help them. If you don't have free consultations lined up out the ass, or clients lined up out the ass, then you're going to do phase one, which is talk to people, offer the work for free, offer an opportunity to connect with someone all day, every spare minute. You go to every forum on the internet if you have to. Go everywhere on the internet. If you don't have anywhere else to go, create YouTube videos and smear them out there. Share your work. If you really had the fire of Christ in you, you would do everything in your power to share this. I'm not sitting around moping and whining, oh, no clients came to me today. Oh, my sale, my free consultations aren't showing up. Oh, they don't have enough money. That is bullshit. You don't have to force anyone. But the person that you're frustrated with is you. You're the mopey, whiny little bitch. Cut it out. Cut it out. It's time to be done with that. The person who's not buying is you. Because you're not giving enough. When you give enough, the deal closes. Just as Sarah saw me do in person. I didn't try. I didn't force anything. I didn't control. I was open to whatever the possibilities were. I was like, well,
You weren't cheesy.
I wasn't weird.
Yeah.
I didn't try to like, whatever. I wasn't sleazy. I didn't pump anything up. We just got clear on what she needed. The solution was LPC, and I helped her through the blocks to get there. Very simple. Very simple. You will get better at this. I've done thousands of deals upon thousands of deals. That's why I'm good. My first deals were utter shit. Did you know that my first sales call, my first free consultation, I literally shit my pants? I was sitting in the car, about to walk in. I was 20 years old. I was so nervous. So nervous. I farted and I pooped a little bit. True
This is recorded.
story.
I hope you know.
True story. And then you know what I did? I went in anyway
Oh my God! Did you clean up?
after I got home.
Oh my God! No.
Didn't stink,
Oh, okay.
We were busy as a stinky guy anyway.
Oh,
So
nice to see you.
old guy. We were out in the garage most of the time. I did not close that deal. Not because I sharted, but because it was part of me gaining experience. I've been on so many sales calls that I didn't get it done. You know how I get it done now? It's because I worked on getting it done. I learned to love myself there. I learned to master this skill, and it is applicable everywhere in your life. Sales is one of the most broad in its usefulness. Man, I get laid more because I'm good at sales. True story. I know my wife has,
Objection.
objections. I don't know how to overcome them. And consequently, I do and get laid.
Oh my God.
And we are both better off because of it.
Yeah, it's
Just one example.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
I know how to sell myself on shit. I know how to overcome my own objections.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do this. Well, you could do this. Okay. We're not going to be able to teach you sales much more if you're not getting in there and helping people.
Yeah.
If you're not getting in there, if you're not generating a lot of leads by doing a lot of work, there will be very little.
There's no purpose in sales meetings. They'll
No.
just leave it.
Exactly. We'll leave it. We'll leave you. We'll figure out some other way
You
than this.
figure it out somehow.
Because it's clear you've left yourself and we've moved forward like we promised we would.
Right.
You should know by now, we're a freight train chugging along. We're not going too fast for you. That's evidenced by all the people that keep showing up. But we do not hesitate to keep moving forward when people try to stand in our way. And it doesn't mean that we lose people and people have to meet us, from there. Like, look at Stephanie Kim. Like, you just showed up and you're already, like, in the inner circle. And it's not because you're a special person, but it's because you've done the work and we all vibrated in harmony and here you are in the right place at the right time with us. And that's okay. And it doesn't mean that, you're totally comfortable in every way, because it takes time for you to build trust. Like, it's a process. But at the same time, you're here doing the work that Fabian's been doing for 3 years. And you're right next to him. And that's what you can do for your clients. You can bring them right up to speed, because it's all in consciousness. We don't lose when people stand in our way. Just they do. We don't lose by continuing to move forward. We always win every time without fail. And so the New York trip is done. It's still time to integrate and process, but the clear next step is to recover and start talking to me. I'm going to talk to people all day, closing deals, setting deals up. So one other detail that I'd spoken with Brianna and some other people, Brianne, is getting our vetted coaches, our coaches in training, trained faster. Like, if you're, once again, Brianne, if they're ready, and get them over and have them finish the LEAP stuff later. Keep doing with that. We're setting up the coaches in training process in such a way that it's an amount of work and you can move through it at any pace that you like. If it takes a long time, fine. If you do it real quick because you're real motivated, fine. So there should be no bottlenecks. If you feel bottlenecked because you're waiting on a time, come to Brianne or come to me if it's not immediately resolved. And oh, by the way, our new VP of Sales is Sama. So maybe we can give her a round of applause. Congratulations, Sama. It's a lot more effective live with the whole.
I know, it's way better live, but we get the picture.
Yeah, the richer thing for us to do these talks is live.
Yeah, I do prefer it live.
And that's the natural continuation of TFAS is live.
Yeah.
It's a natural continuation of this work. That's when it becomes unionism.
That's what we really like discovered throughout this trip is that the classes aren't going to end. It's just the reportings will, and we're going to continue doing it in our house and doing it in these live events that are basically an intensive.
Right.
So, I mean, you get 90 minutes or so a week with us, and but being around us like we have in New York, I mean, it's like almost 6 months of TFAS in one.
Yeah. 6 months of breakthroughs
Really,
too.
yeah. Uh-huh.
The miracles really flow.
It does.
So what Sama is going to be responsible for now is being in charge of the sales team, working with Brianne to get the coaches vetted, and being responsible for that whole system. What I'm still here to do is to train up each of you, is to build the system up so that you all know exactly what it takes to become a six-figure coach and beyond. And Angela is already working on being a seven-figure coach. She just does, classes. That's it.
Just class 3 times a week or something like that. Classes.
Yeah, just classes. That's it.
That's it.
You can do the same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah. So Sama is going to be taking a lot more leadership here. She's in charge of the whole thing. But the one thing I will still do is, of course, keep an eye on everything as I always have and always do. But I'm going to be here until I'm certain that 6 figures is inevitable, until that my part is done. And you'll notice, like, I don't hesitate in loving you. I don't ever hold back in loving you. That's my secret. That's the secret to wealth. I don't ever look at someone and say, oh, I don't want to do that. I look at someone and say, is it in my divine alignment to help this person? Yes or no?
That's nice.
And I didn't say yes to every single, request for help. I said yes to everything that God had asked me to do. So for example, Colby was like, hey, can you channel this for me? And I was like, nope. He's like, well, we got this number. I was like, why'd you need me? He's like, well, okay, I guess you're right. So even though I said no to him, I still helped him. The no was to helping him in the way that he thought he wanted to be helped, and the yes was to helping him in the way that he needed to be helped. And I don't discriminate. I don't look at someone and say, well, you've done some things for me lately, so I'm going to help you by doing things for you. I don't discriminate at all. Been my student for years, just showed up, are annoying or are wonderful, are helpful or are very unhelpful. I don't give a damn. When they ask for help, I answer. And it's God I help. Another great example on the trip, we have about 5 minutes left here, was I was walking with a group of people, and Keely was leading us to a restaurant, and we were in the motherfucking ghetto in the Bronx, or in Brooklyn. And this woman was standing in front of a church, and Keely was talking to her, and I was like, why the fuck are we slowing down? Like, we gotta go eat. And I got up to her, and she's like, what's the problem? I'm like, what's the problem? And she's like, oh, this one wants food. And I looked at her, I'm like, what? She's like, and I'm like, we're not your source, God is. And we left. I'm like, let's go. And we walked the fuck away. She needed help. She needed us to show her. She was asking for help. She needed us to show her where her source was. I did not deny her that. Or, for example, it can be just a glance. Someone's staring at me like, please love me. And I'll glance at them and then glance away. I give you the love you needed by acknowledging that you're there. And also give you the love you needed by acknowledging that God has you, not I don't have to have you. So this can be a more advanced sort of idea. But if you don't get the gross idea of helping people, you're not going to get the gross idea of making any money. poverty is not acceptable. Not offering your gift is not acceptable. Elle was a really great example of offering her gift. She was always giving on the trip.
Mhm.
Every time I saw her, she was giving in some way to someone. Hi, Elle. Looking beautiful today, Elle.
Elle talk.
Elle, I woke up in the morning, Elle was making us breakfast. Look around, Elle is doing the dishes. Oh, over there, Elle is helping someone with spiritual work. Oh, now Elle is making memes. Oh, now Elle is coordinating the trip. Oh, now Elle is coordinating people to get stuff done. Oh, now Elle is helping set up. Oh, now Elle is calling an Uber for everyone. She was selfless in her love. She didn't expect to get paid anywhere, but you know what? Elle had a very high vibration of wealth. At no point did I see Elle poor. And if Elle keeps this up and goes where God shows her, she's going to be very wealthy very soon. God takes care of Elle because Elle loves God. Elle has an amazing work ethic. And yeah, I'm sure she's very tired after that trip. She burned the midnight fucking oil. I did. A lot of us did. But this is a very special opportunity, and so that was okay to do. And I'm not teaching you to burn the midnight oil all the time. That was a isolated event. I'm teaching you to burn your fire brightly. So, 2 minutes left. And I just want to share this last thing. There's not going to be any room for comment. I apologize. But there's this. New York's over. Get your shit together. Work. If you, 3 stages, don't have so many clients that you don't need any clients anymore, such that if you don't want to have classes of clients and all you want to do is one-on-one, then all your time in a given day is coaching. If you have that, you're good. Until you have that, you must do phase 1 and 2. The previous stage from I have as many clients as I could ever want, and when they leave, they're immediately replaced, is selling, is offering deals, is closing deals, which means a lot of free consultations, a lot of sales conversations. And until you have so many sales conversations that it results in complete clientele, then you need to be selling. And if you don't have enough sales conversations going on to complete your clientele, then you need to be going out and speaking with people. You need to reach out to the public. You need to go where people are. The internet makes this phenomenally easy. It groups people up into market segments like a fucking dream. The entrepreneur of yesteryear would cream their shit if they saw what we have today. The salesperson of the 50s would poop everywhere to see the sales tools we have today. And if I see you whining about not enough, I'm going to lose my shit. You don't want me to lose my shit on you. Not in an abusive or a mean way, but in a, this is really stupid and you're going to stop this now kind of way. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You don't got time for that. But it's the negativity that you bring that I speak of, and I don't want to see that ever again. We're done with poverty, moving into great wealth. And so this is the system. Generate leads, close leads, service leads. That's it. Work your way backwards. Most of you, pretty much all of you, every single one of you here that I'm aware of, even Angela, you want to grow your business? Generate leads. Generate leads for 18 hours a day. All you gotta do is talk to people about this with the intent of turning them into stage 2, sales conversation. With the intent of turning them to stage 3, closed deal. Don't need to sit around. Don't need to suck your thumb and wait. If you're waiting, you're poor. If you're working, you're rich. Very good. What a juicy coaching and sales meeting this has been. Mm-hmm. I look forward to a very intimate conversation with you guys next week. we're going to go through and talk to people who have actually done the work, and we're going to start diagnosing and helping your business and your sales techniques. If that's not what's happening, we won't have a sales and coaching call. If we don't have people who've actually gone out and worked by generating a lot of leads through the meme team, through the systems we have, or on their own in some equally or more effective way, I'm going to close the call until that gets done. So I hope that next week we will meet in the place where we must. I'm very confident that we'll meet in the place where we must. And you're going to get some really valuable free help to grow your business. How many people get this opportunity to have a seasoned and successful entrepreneur and coach holding their hand through their business all the way through? Few. Few are so lucky. And you know what happens? They always get fucking rich. All the richest people who made it probably had a mentor. You got a mentor. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.